Out and About Productions presents Out and About on the Recumbents. Ride slow, ride low, ride recumbent. Hey, good morning. It's BJ and Joe Ondo out and about on the Recumbents, as usual. And we are on the Templeton Gap Trail and about to go through the tunnel. Okay, nobody coming. Ole, 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 ole. All right, well, it's Sunday, and it's a very beautiful Sunday, although we do have some clouds building up. But today was the day with the least amount of chance of rain. It's only in the 20% category, and we've been getting way too much rain, okay? I mean, it's been kind of pouring its guts out, you know, every early afternoon, you know, so it makes it a little hard to get out and get going, because Jolynn does not like to get up early. Not at all. And even if she does get up early, she's a very slow mover in the morning. I will literally have I will literally have my breakfast done and her breakfast made, and I will probably have all my exercises that I was going to do done, and then I'll be working while she's eating, or while, yeah, taking her time eating, being glued to Facebook. I'm making lunches and putting water bottles together and gathering clothes and batteries and cameras and all the silly stuff that goes along with having a YouTube channel or riding a trike, either one. It's a little bit easier now that we're at the we have our trikes inside. They are inside, just so you guys will know, inside underneath the stairwell, and our doors lock. You know, the outside doors, they lock. You have to have a key to get in. So and we use a 15-foot thick cable and a massive old style thick master lock with a short shackles, so that makes it a lot harder to get a hold of to cut. And we also use on the trike in front, because the other one is completely buried underneath the stairwell. The trike in front gets the kryptonite U-bolt. So I mean, it's fairly secure. Let's face it, if somebody wants them, they'll get them. You know, because the front windows are, or the front doors are glass, so they'd just be able to snap them, you know, break them. And and it is a bit of a hassle because we have to take them up and down about 5 steps. So it's only one flight of stairs, and it's half as it's only 5 instead of 10 steps, like the one going up to our apartment. And we don't have to. The only doors we have to go through is the double wide doors in the front of the building. So it works okay. Sadly, the property manager has an old couch, and I don't know why. You know, maybe in the old days, because I think the I think the apartment complex, you know, first started actually had an intercom system, you know, to where you punch a button on the outside and you know, it goes to different apartments, and you know, but They don't have that anymore. Long gone. So there has to be somebody there to let you in, physically there to let you in. So that makes it even a little more, you know, safe. But we do have to jam, kind of really jam the trikes in the space because of the couch. I was really hoping he'd see that we needed a little more room. We only need like about 2 feet, you know, and he'd see about getting rid of the couch. But I can't complain because it does make it easier. We don't have that, you know, 1.2 mile walk there and a 1.2 mile walk back. So that's nice. Although it has brought down our step count through PACE, which is our senior care, senior medical care. Hello? We do their walking program. They gave us a Fitbit kind of thing. It's not a Fitbit, but it's something like that. And yeah, so like I said, we're on the T-gap. We're gonna go stay straight and go low through the down right in the drainage canal, and then we'll go up and we'll head for Ranch Road, and then what we'll do is go up the Flint Ridge Flint Ridge Drive bike lane. And we'll go over to Starbucks, because they do have a McDonald's right there, and that would be cheaper, but it's in the sun. You know what I mean? There's usually some shade in the on the patio, and they do have the big umbrellas, so hopefully there'll be you know, be some shade when we get there. Otherwise we'll probably sit inside. But yeah, like I said, we are on the Templeton Gap, or as we call it, the T-Gap Road. Trail. Now there is also a Templeton Gap Road too, actual, you know, street and road. But we're not going to be anywhere near that today, at least not right at the moment. Like I said, what we're doing is we're heading north, and we're heading towards Academy Boulevard, but we have to turn around at Ranch Drive because the trail ends and it goes to a standard size sidewalk, and they have lampposts, you know, for the street on the sidewalk. And so there's a lot of places where there is barely, and I mean, you're like almost hanging off the edge with one wheel for a recumbent trike. So we don't ever go up that way anymore. We used to, but we don't do that anymore. Because, you know, if you follow that up and then you go, I don't remember the street, but you get to a certain street, you can follow that up, and then you can take the Flint Ridge Drive bike lane, you know, back down. But we go up, and we just, you know, we just turn around and come back to the bridge that goes across the canal here. Too big to call it a ditch, it's a canal. And most of this is, you know, the man-made. It's all cement. That's why they have the big fence here. Yeah, yesterday was solid clouds, and I had to take a breath test for gastric problems. And it's a weird setup because you have to, the day before, you can only eat very certain foods, and you can only drink water, and then when you get up, there's 9 little envelopes, little bags, that you have to blow air into, but it has to be 15 minutes between. And the first bag, you go ahead and do it, but before the second bag, you have to take a sugar solution of some sort. So did all that, got it all put together in a box, and back in the box, and the return shipping label on it, and got it over to the closest FedEx pickup for us, because it's a FedEx tag, and that's at the Walgreens on Nevada and Fillmore. And although I guess they don't have any pickup during the weekend, it won't be picked up till Monday, I sure hope that those bags don't leak out air, and you know, they can do the test, because it's a bit of a pain in the butt when you have to sit there for, you know, basically a little over 2 hours in between. You can't eat anything, you can sip water. Okay, as you can see, we're on right along Union Boulevard here, which is a very major busy roadway, and that flashing 40-mile-an-hour speed limit is a joke. A big joke. I don't think anybody goes less than 55 to 60 on this road. But yeah, we're almost to Ranch Road, and actually it's Ranch Drive. Yeah, it should be Ranch Road. That would fit better if you ask me, but I'm pretty sure it's Ranch Drive. And that'll be the end of the actual trail. Like I said, from then on it's all very thin, single person type sidewalk, and lots of big the bigger landscaping rocks, so that doesn't do us much good. Yeah, here we are at Ranch Drive. Yeah, it is Ranch Drive. Okay, we're gonna go over here and do a turnaround. Go back up on the sidewalk this time. But yeah, well, this is where we're going to end this segment. Like I said, we're back on the T-Gap Trail now, so we'll be back. Okay, well, we had our iced tea, and we found some, oh dang, I can't think of what they call it. It's not an energy powder, but electrolyte powder at Walmart for a really good price, and a really good flavor too, a strawberry kiwi. Oh, now we're back on Flint Ridge Drive. We're going to cross over here. And we got the whoopies we have to go through. Watch this. Whoopie, 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 whoopie. Yes, here too. It's just for the road gets so much use, you know, that it literally is sunk, you know, in the wheel spaces. So, yeah, this is the fun part of this bike lane. It's all downhill. But yeah, well, you know, hope you're having a good Sunday. We do have some clouds building up here, but hopefully the worst they'll do is what they call virga, you know, which it looks like it's raining, but it doesn't actually touch the ground. Let's see, it's 11:53. Yeah, we eat lunch early. We usually eat around 11. That's our normal lunchtime. That way by 1, you know, we can have our, we've been, because of the summer months, you know, we changed, you know, we used to always have the Think Bar in the afternoon. But now we're eating the Think Bar with our lunch because it, well, even with we do carry a small carry our Think Bars with small ice packs, ice pack, and that will keep it, you know, for 2 or 3 hours. You know, it'll keep the bar from melting all over the place because they're a brownie crunch bar, so they got, you know, they're coated in some sort of sugar-free chocolate, and yeah, the Think Bars are good because they're sugar-free, low carb, high protein. You know, good stuff. So we figured that also gives us a little more, you know, serious food in the summertime, you know, while we're still really riding. And then in the afternoon we eat our apple instead for the afternoon snack. Somewhere between, you know, 1 and 1:30. Yeah, got a stop sign here, so got to stop. At least look that way, yes. We do have the Idaho stop law here in Colorado Springs. Howdy. And what that means is we still have to slow down and look in the intersection. Make sure there's no traffic coming. If it's a stoplight or a stop sign, we can treat it like a yield sign. We can look both ways, no traffic, we can go ahead and go. If it's a yield sign, then all we have to do is look both ways and go. Well, that didn't work out right. Yeah, you treat a stop sign like a yield sign. No, still didn't work out right. I don't know. Oh, okay. Stop light like a stop sign. Stop, look real quick, nobody there, you can go. If it's a stop sign, then and there's take a quick look both ways, and if there's nobody there, you can treat it like a yield sign and go ahead and go. So, to be honest with you, we don't do it all that much because oh, I forgot. I put the good microphone on so I don't have to have the camera so close. So, yeah, like I said, it's Sunday. Heading towards the afternoon. We have a 20% chance of rain. Older Harley Davidson Sportster there. But yeah, the nice thing about heading west on Flintwood Drive bike lane is that it's all downhill, or flat as a pancake. There's Pikes Peak up there. As you can see, it looks like all the snow is gone. Which, you know, by the middle of July, which is not quite there yet, but it's pretty close, it's usually pretty much gone. Now, we'll let you know, they do have a ride that you can do. And you can ride, you know, they have no car traffic that day. And you can ride, you know, the Pikes Peak toll road all the way to the top, you know, 14,110 feet. And then you come back down. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to ride up it. Especially with having knee assist, you know, I'd be able to, you know, help me out when it really gets steep. But I'm too chicken to ride down it. Because, you know, I have 14-year-old drum brakes. So the idea of, you know, cruising down, you know, those steep slopes at you know, probably, I'll bet you could hit 50, 60 miles an hour even on a trike. And relying on 14-year-old drum brakes? No. Now, I'm not saying they wouldn't work, because they probably will. But sometimes you just have to, you know, err on the side of caution, as they say. We're going to go back over the drainage canal on this little bridge here. Get back on the T-Gap trail. Make sure nobody's coming. Hello? Okay, nobody's coming. All right. Now we got to go back down into the... man. Yeah. All these transitions are always a little bit on the rough side. Okay, this is not a... You don't want to be down here if it's raining, you know, because there's probably only about a foot between us and the water. Passing on your left. Oops. Okay, right. Under. Howdy. But yeah, it's a warm day. It's going to be in the, probably be at least in the 80s. But I don't think it's supposed to hit 90 today, which is nice. 80s I can handle, but 90s are a bit on the roasty side. Now I might be riding tomorrow because Joe has a medical appointment, but got to look at the rain chances tonight, because the problem of it is, you know, well, if I do go, I'll have to get up really early and get out really early. A bit of a pain in the butt because the way we have to put the trikes in, mine has to go all the way underneath the stairwell, and Joe sits out front. So I'll have to pull Joe's out, put it right against the door, and hope nobody needs through, just long enough where I can pull mine up to the landing, and then go down and pull that one back in, and then we'll have to do just the opposite when I get back. So I have a lot of moving I still have to do. That was a nice thing about the storage unit, you know, you didn't have to do all the moving. But you did have to drag a 20-pound wagon, you know, because both our batteries, mine's 18 pounds, Joe's is 10. And so we had to drag, you know, the battery, or, you know, use the wagon to take the batteries and all of our other gear, you know, cameras, computers, all that kind of stuff. Lunch, water. So, you know, we had to lug that. And so that probably made that wagon come up to about 30-35 pounds with the weight of the wagon too. Now it's one of these super light foldable, you know, canvas and plastic wagons, so it's not like it not like it's super heavy. So I'm figuring 5 pounds, because it's a pretty good sized wagon. And yeah, sorry, had to yawn. Ever since I turned 60, I yawn all the time. Joe says that means I'm not getting enough oxygen, honey. And yet when they, you know, when they rate my oxygen, it's always in the high 90s, you know, so it doesn't seem to make any sense, but I don't know. Maybe just at the time. I don't have asthma or anything like that, so I'm very fortunate. My poor brother Bob not only has asthma, but he also has pretty strong case of COPD too. So between the two of them, they really make it hard on him. It's such a bummer, because I know he would absolutely love being able to ride a trike, especially with an E-assisted trike. I know he'd get a giggle out of it, because when we were younger, he used to ride bicycles all the time. Yeah. Well, I mean, until he became a teenager. I kept riding right up until I went into the Air Force in '73. I was 17 years old, and but I kept riding because I still didn't have a car. And I think Bob pretty much, you know, he got a job right away. When he was 16, so he bought himself an old beater car. And Bob's always been a much, well, Bob's a pretty decent mechanic, and I am not. I can't, I mean, if I can replace it, I mean, I've replaced alternators, starters, water pumps, all kinds of stuff, but I can't fix anything. I can't, like, tear it apart. And howdy. All right. Since I don't have quite as good a turning radius, I have to turn there. Okay, here we go. Ole, 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 ole. Up and away. Yeah, as you can see, it got the clouds really building up. Really building up. But I'm going to stop right here and take a picture of Pikes Peak here with the clouds over it.